This ooey gooey bowl of creamy goodness is cheese fondue. I recently went traveling for the first time in 2 years, oh my god, to Switzerland, and of course the number one food I had was cheese fondue. Lots and lots of cheese fondue. I had to recreate it at home and it turned out so easy to make, and this recipe is non-alcoholic but still ultra delicious. So let's do this. First, let's talk cheese. You can use any easy melting cheese. I have here some Gruyere or Swiss cheese here. You can also just use cheddar or whatever favorite cheese that you have. You can use a grater, or I am going to be showing you my hack for shredding a block of cheese quickly, and that is with a food processor. First, you want to cut off the rinds of your cheese block, and then roughly chop the block of cheese into smaller cubes so your food processor is not, too stressed out. Then add the cheese cubes to the food processor and just let it get to work. You really want to grate your cheese into smaller pieces so that it melts a lot more evenly and easily. And then voila, just like that, you get chopped up cheese ready for melting. Another reason why I love using the food processor is so that I can mix in the cornstarch easily, just like this. This is like the ultimate lazy person hack. Okay, I love this. So you really want to add the cornstarch to the cheese so that it stabilizes while also thickening up the cheese fondue later on. Of course, if you used a grater for your cheese, then you can just sprinkle on the cornstarch onto the cheese like this and toss it through the cheese to coat just like this. Easy. You can make fondue straight in your fondue pot over the stove, but I'm using an induction cooker today, so it doesn't quite work because science and technology, so I'm using a saucepan today. To the saucepan, add low sodium chicken stock as well as milk. You can just use the chicken stock or just the milk. Next, add minced garlic. So if you don't want such a strong garlic flavor, you can actually rub the pot with the garlic instead, but I love garlic, so I just use minced garlic. Stir this mixture and then let it come to a gentle simmer over a low to medium heat. Once the liquid starts to simmer, make sure it's on low heat if it's not already, and add the cheese bit by bit. You really want to make sure the heat is low, otherwise the cheese can break and curdle, so you're not going to get a smooth fondue. It might take a while to fully melt, but I find this the most consistent way to get a nice smooth fondue. Stir continuously, and I like to use a spatula for this, and you want to be gentle with your stirring. Let the cheese almost completely melt before adding the next batch of cheese. Continue to gently stir over low heat to melt the cheese. So once you've added all of the cheese and it almost completely melts, I am adding sweet paprika, nutmeg, and white pepper, but these are optional though. They just go great with cheese, but if you do not have these, you will still have a yummy fondue. You might also want to taste test and add salt if needed. I personally found that I never need salt. The salt from the cheese and the stock is just more than enough. Your fondue should also start to thicken. Once all of the cheese has melted, you want to add a squeeze of lemon juice or about a tablespoon of lemon juice. This acid helps to stabilize the cheese even more because we are not using wine, while also adding a nice brightness to just cut the heaviness of the cheese. And that's your cheese fondue. Dip your bread right in the saucepan like this, but I've got this fancy fondue pot thingamajiggy, so I'm going to be Swiss for a date, so Dankeschön. Serve with some bread, of course. You can toast this, by the way. You want something crusty so it won't fall off your fork when you dip it in the fondue. Or my favorite, boiled potatoes and some blanched veggies. I highly recommend the blanched veggies to fake a healthy lifestyle. Now, how to blanch? Simply get some water boiling and add a pinch of salt, and then dunk the veggies in the boiling water for just a minute or so, and then take it out. Look at how much more alive and bright the veggies become after a very quick blanch. Don't cook it for too long as well, because you just can't eat fondue with soft, soggy veggies. Also, how to eat fondue properly. If you have to swirl your bread and toppings, do not dip. That's like the number one no. You gotta swirl. So I really hope that you'll give this cheese fondue a go, and bye. If you love this recipe, make sure you check out any of these next.